Hey guys, what is up? Decided to do a quick little video of 5 underrated or underappreciated albums. I only did 5 because I was originally going to do 10, but then I realized I don't really have a lot of albums that probably aren't considered to be great albums. So, as you can see, I'm in a pretty good mood right now because I don't have to work today, which means I've had a proper amount of sleep before doing this video, which means I hopefully won't be stumbling over my words or anything like that. And first of all, I want to thank the new subscribers that have subbed to my channels. Doing very well, so let's get to it. So the first album that I want to introduce, not just this album, but a good majority of this band's era with their second singer. And that band is AC/DC. The album Blow Up Your Video. This is from 1988. This is the one that they did prior to Razor's Edge, which is probably my favorite AC/DC album with Brian Johnson. But I mean this album's got some great songs as far as the AC/DC collection is concerned. I mean, Heat Seeker, Mean Street, Go Zone, Kissin' Dynamite, Nick of Time, Roughed Up, This Means War, That's the Way I Want to Rock and Roll. I mean, this album has, to me, some of the best songs that they did with Brian Johnson, and was also the first AC/DC I was able to put in my collection when I first started. Got this for a total of $5. So this next one, I'll admit that it wasn't big on my radar on their discography when I first got into the band, and even for a while after. It really wasn't until I really started just kind of listening to it for more than just the songs that were probably the hits or whatever. And the band itself just has a pretty good discography as far as like really great albums that sometimes, and I meant to kind of mention this in the beginning of the video, some of these are just albums that they're bad albums or really anything. That is just, the band may have such a wide amount of great records that they just kind of get lost in the shuffle of things, like in between like great records and stuff like that. So this next one for me is also from 1988, and that is Megadeth's So Far, So Good, So What. In my opinion, this was an album, for the most part, you look at songs like Hook and Mouth and In My Darkest Hour, they're probably the most known songs, the songs that get played live and stuff like that. But really, you get songs like 502 and Liar. The instrumental to begin, Into the Lungs of Hell, is a pretty good one. My favorite song actually on this album is Mary Jane. And it's just, to me, it's a very well overlooked album, just because you've got albums like Peace Sells, Rust in Peace, Countdown to Extinction. Some of their more recent albums have been pretty great too. So an album like this gets kind of lost in the shuffle. This next one, I know I'm going to get a lot of love from Ron on this one. And because I did consider it not one of my favorite records by this album for a while, but so I'm just going to go ahead and introduce it. Quiet Riot 3, which I know is his favorite Quiet Riot record. And like I said before, this album gets kind of pushed to the side when you've got albums like Critical Condition and Metal Health that had, the big hit songs. This album has some pretty big ones too. Down and Dirty is a good one. Put Up or Shut Up, Still the Night, Slave to Love, and then you've got, probably I think the song that probably puts this album on kind of, the lower levels of the discography is a song like The Wild and the Young. Kind of got that pop kind of sound to a little bit, but it really is a great record overall. That really people should go back and kind of revisit. This next one is one of those records. Oh, and this Quiet Riot record came out in '86, so we're not going to have an '88 theme apparently, which I kind of knew already with one of them. But so the next one, I am a huge Queensryche fan, and it's really up to this album is really where I love all their stuff, and kind of after this album is where it kind of went a little away from me. But a lot of people really don't like this next album, just because it's kind of got more of a, I don't know, maybe more like a hard rock or maybe a mainstream type sound. But in my opinion, introduced a lot of things to the band. It kind of took a little bit of the progressiveness away, put a little bit more of hard rock, did put a little element of blues and stuff in there, but still had the melody that they had before and the great musicianship. And I'm talking about the album Empire. You know, a lot of people say that, you know, after Mindcrime, they kind of, you know, didn't do anything worthwhile or anything like that. I disagree. I think songs like Best That I Can, Thin Line, Jet City Woman, Empire, Silent Blue City, which is a great song. And if you really take the chance to go back and listen, I think the intro to Silent Lucidity and Alice Cooper's Only Women Bleed, those intros kind of sound a little bit alike. You can go back and figure out for yourself, but you know, I just think this is a really good album. I think it's got some really kind of hard rocking tunes. Then you got a song like Della Brown, which kind of puts in some other instruments and stuff in there. And so the last one I'm going to show is, I think, an album from this band that a lot of people discard just because it doesn't have like two of your main members of the band in it, because they'd already left at this point. But Aerosmith, when they decided to, well, not when they decided to, but when they did the record, not having Joe Perry and not having, what's the other guitarist's name? I had it and then it just escaped me. Brad Whitford. Didn't have either of those two on the record. Rockin' a Hard Place. This has got some rockin' tunes on here. I mean, Lightning Strikes, Jailbait, Bitches Brews, a great song. Rockin' a Hard Place, Jig Is Up, Push Comes to Shove. This is a really, really good album. But because it doesn't have those two guys on it, you know, it's an album that kind of gets skipped. But I think it's a really good album. This is from 80-something. I want to say 82. Yep. I'm correct, 1982. So, thank you for watching this video. I hope to see what anybody else can come up with. Hope you have a great day, and God bless.